Let's break it down, family, because some stories go viral for a reason, and this one right here, it's every black person's retail nightmare come to life. See, you walk into a Penney, just minding your business, maybe looking for a last-minute gift, maybe trying to catch a sale, and suddenly you find yourself on the wrong end of some Karen's overactive imagination, caught up in a real-life episode of Cops, minus the crime, minus the context, and minus a lick of common sense. Picture it. A black man walks in with his family, his mother-in-law, his wife, everybody looking regular and unbothered, but as soon as they step into that fluorescent-lit temple of discount fashion, here comes trouble in a red shirt. This white woman doesn't just eyeball him, she points him out loud enough for everyone to hear and says he looks like the suspect security was chasing just moments ago. And if that wasn't enough, she keeps it moving, trying to loop his whole family into the drama. Now you already know what's up. The moment she saw melanin, the math started not mathing, and suddenly, just about like him was all she needed to unleash her inner detective. The man's mother-in-law doesn't let it slide. She steps to the woman and says, "So you said you saw a black guy run that way?" The woman doubles down. Yes, just about like him. Even though she's watching them all walk in together, no one out of breath, no jewelry in sight, just regular folks living regular lives. That's when the mother-in-law, rocking her glasses cam like a pro, makes it plain. Because he's a black guy? The woman flinches but stands on her shaky ground, refusing to admit she just committed retail profiling 101. You know how this goes. The minute a black woman checks somebody for their bias, the script flips. Suddenly, the white woman gets defensive, like she's the victim for getting called out, starts accusing the black family of starting trouble, and storms off.
No, wait a minute. So you said you saw a black guy run that way and what?
Yeah, with shorts on, just about like him wherever he is.
Because he's a black guy. Now, so if you saw that, you didn't see us just walking there.
Start trouble.
No, you starting trouble. Don't accuse my son-in-law of being a thief.
Oh, I'm not.
You better get out of my face, lady. We just walked in this store. So why would you accuse him of being a thief?
Just go on your way, honey.
She's crazy.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to apologize on her behalf. She's being stupid. Let's go, y'all. You just saw us walk in. We almost got ran over. He was running out. A black guy.
That's crazy.
She ought to be ashamed of herself. Now, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Come on, let's go.
I'm not my ancestors, but I show you.
Come on.
Yeah, and you see when she pushed up on me, right?
Okay, come on.
And I got it recorded. Is what she don't know. These glasses are recording.
I know, but don't give her
And I should call the cops because she really assaulted me.
Come on, let's go. Let's go. Don't give her the satisfaction. Come on, let's go.
But the mother-in-law is not having it. Her voice cuts across the store. "No, you're starting trouble. Don't accuse my son-in-law of being a thief." See, this is that generational voice, the one that's done letting ignorance walk by unchecked. But right when you think Karen's going to retreat, she spins around, gets bold, and stomps back, bumping into the black woman like she wants to escalate. Now it's chest to chest, elbows out, a whole scene in front of the jewelry counter. Security's nowhere fast, but Penney staffers hustle over, middle-aged and frazzled, trying to separate the women before it becomes the new viral TikTok sensation. And here comes the classic play. Karen starts rewriting history, swearing she never accused anyone, acting brand new in front of the crowd, gaslighting the whole store. You can hear the collective eye roll from the black side of the internet because we've seen this trick since lunch counters and bus stations. Escalate, gaslight, retreat, and let black folks take the heat for the disturbance. But our sister's not backing down. Words fly, voices rise, and as Karen melts into the distance, trying to have the last word, the black woman drops a line for the ages. "I'm not my ancestors, but I'll show you." She's not threatening violence. She's reminding the world that while her ancestors survived, endured, and resisted, she's not here to be silent, to bow down, or to shrink herself for anyone's comfort. Later, she posts the whole ordeal online, video receipts, detailed breakdown, tags for at JCPenney, and the whole world to see. She's not just airing a grievance, she's demanding accountability. "Today I was assaulted in JCPenney by a Karen after she accused my son-in-law of being a thief," she writes, breaking down how the woman's finger-pointing, hostile words and aggression escalated what should have been a normal shopping trip into a spectacle. And when JCPenney staff admit she was assaulted but let her assailant stay in the store while encouraging her to leave, she's left with a bitter reminder. Too often, black people are told to move on so white comfort can stay unbothered. Not content to just leave, the black woman files a police report, because if she didn't, you already know the headlines would flip the script, painting her as the aggressor. She learns from the staff that they already know who she is, implying Karen's a repeat offender, not some innocent shopper caught off guard. Penney's social media team jumps in with the generic apology. "We're truly sorry to hear this happen. This isn't the experience we want our customers to have, and we're here to help." They ask for the store location, date, and contact info, promising to share the concerns with the right team. But in the comments, the real conversation lights up. People dragging the company for letting the aggressor linger, calling out employees for not stepping in, and debating why the black woman was the one asked to leave while her accuser kept shopping. This story isn't new, but it's proof that in 2025, racial profiling is still alive in retail America, and viral videos are still our best defense. Let's unpack what happened here, because while this was just another day at the mall for some, for Black America, it's a story older than JCPenney itself. See, every time a Karen gets loud in a department store, it's not just about that one moment. It's about centuries of policing Black bodies, whether we're shopping, walking, laughing, or just existing. This right here is a remix of an old song, the criminalization of Black presence, the suspicion that follows us into every space, from luxury boutiques to discount chains. Think about it. Black folks have always had to defend our right to belong. From sundown towns to redlining, from whites-only lunch counters to modern loss prevention tactics, the rules keep changing, but the message is the same. You're not welcome unless we say so. It's why so many of us walk into stores and immediately make eye contact with employees, smile a little wider, keep our hands visible, and make sure our bags are zipped up tight, just to avoid being the one they watch. Our parents taught us this game early. Don't touch what you're not buying. Don't argue with staff. Always get a receipt. Not because we're guilty, but because we know how quickly innocent can turn to suspect when Blackness walks in the door. And let's be real, the impact is generational. It's not just the person who gets accused that carries the scar. It's the whole family, the community watching the video, the children learning what it means to be seen as a threat for existing. It's a microaggression with macro consequences, and for Black women especially, it's an exhausting cycle of having to choose between staying silent to keep the peace or speaking up and risking being labeled angry or aggressive. But this sister, she chose her dignity over anyone's comfort. That moment in the store when the white woman backpedaled and claimed she hadn't accused anyone is a masterclass in gaslighting. It's the classic move. Start the fire, then act shocked when smoke fills the room. But Black women have seen this before, and our sister wasn't having it. Her defiance, her clarity, her refusal to let the accusation stand sent a message. We are not here to be your scapegoat. We are not our ancestors, but we carry their strength, their wisdom, and their unwillingness to bow down. When she said, "I'm not my ancestors, but I'll show you," she wasn't disrespecting her lineage. She was honoring them by refusing to repeat their silencing. Our ancestors fought, resisted, and survived so we could have the audacity to push back, to demand truth, to own our narrative. It's a reminder that Black resistance is not new. It just looks different with a camera phone and Wi-Fi. Let's talk about community response, because as soon as the video hit Instagram, you already know the comments section lit up like a family reunion cookout. Black folks came together with support, validation, and receipts of their own. Stories poured in, people sharing how they, too, had been followed in stores, wrongly accused, or treated like a walking crime alert just for shopping while Black. The solidarity was real, but so was the frustration. Why are we still fighting this battle in 2025? Why do corporations still need to be reminded that diversity statements mean nothing if your staff can't spot bias in real time? Others weren't shy about calling out the employees who, instead of confronting the aggressor, told the Black woman to move on. That's how bias becomes policy, when the person standing up for themselves is treated like the problem and the one causing harm gets protected by default. Some even argued that the store should have called the police immediately, but history shows that's a double-edged sword for Black folks. Sometimes calling law enforcement only escalates the danger. Let's not forget the trolls in the comments trying to flip the script. Maybe she just made a mistake. Why does everything have to be about race? But those voices just prove the point. For Black folks, intent doesn't erase impact. Every accusation carries the weight of history. Every mistake lands like an accusation. Every denial feels like a slap to every ancestor who fought for the right to be more than just a suspect. And then there's the corporate apology, carefully crafted to sound empathetic but vague enough to avoid real accountability. "We're truly sorry to hear this happened. Family, you already know that's just customer service talk for 'we hope this blows over.' The real test is what happens next. Will there be training, consequences, a culture shift, or just another round of thoughts and prayers until the next video drops? The bigger pattern is clear. In America, Black people are always one accusation away from humiliation, from being forced to prove our innocence, from having our dignity put on trial by people who never had to live with that burden. And if it weren't for camera phones and social media, most of these stories would disappear into the ether, just another he said, she said, with the odds stacked against us. But not today. Today, this sister's story is a rallying cry. Let's get into the psychology of what went down, because this wasn't just an isolated incident, it was a microcosm of the stress Black folks carry every single day. Imagine walking into a store just trying to spend your hard-earned money, and suddenly you're put on trial for a crime you didn't even witness, much less commit. That anxiety, it doesn't just disappear when you leave the store. It stays with you, follows you home, creeps into how you raise your children, and reminds you that you have to always be ready to defend your innocence. That's the mental tax Black folks pay in America, constantly second-guessing ourselves, rehearsing what to say if something jumps off, making sure we don't look suspicious to somebody who thinks their comfort outweighs our humanity. For Black women, it's another layer. You're expected to be polite, to shrink yourself, to walk away even when you're disrespected. But LaSherika is here to tell you, sometimes survival is about standing your ground, not just for you, but for every sister and brother who will come after. The emotional fallout from moments like this is real. You question whether you're being too sensitive, whether you should have just let it go, whether the video will be used against you instead of for you. That's psychological warfare. And it's no accident. Systems of bias are designed to keep us doubting ourselves, to make us afraid to claim space, to gaslight us until we internalize silence as safety. But when you speak out, when you record, when you post receipts, you flip the script and refuse to let anyone else narrate your reality. What's powerful about this Penney moment is how the sister turned pain into purpose. She didn't let herself become just another invisible statistic. She documented the truth, brought it to the court of public opinion, and made it impossible for the company to sweep it under the rug. That's 21st century resistance, powered by Wi-Fi and courage. And when the apology came, she made sure it was on her terms, not theirs. Let's be honest, though. Apologies are nice, but they don't move policy. What changes the game is action. Training staff to recognize bias, protecting customers who stand up for themselves, and creating real consequences for those who use race as a weapon. Companies need to move past diversity statements and into real accountability. That means tracking complaints, making public commitments, and showing us, not just telling us, that they're serious about anti-racism. And family, this is where our power shines brightest, in solidarity. The reason these stories don't just fade away is because Black folks everywhere see ourselves in them, feel that familiar sting, and refuse to let each other be isolated. We rally, we repost, we tag, we demand, we remind each other that while the system wants us divided, our unity is our armor. When one of us is targeted, all of us respond. That's not just activism, it's survival, it's tradition, it's love. But LaSherika's got to be real. The work isn't done. Every viral video is both a warning and a lesson. We have to keep teaching our children the double truth. Yes, you deserve joy and respect, but you also have to be wise about the world you live in. Teach them how to advocate, how to document, how to know the law and their rights. Because as long as racial profiling exists, our children need armor that's built from knowledge and pride, not fear. The sister in Penney may have felt alone in that moment, but by going public, she became a mirror for millions. Her courage makes the next person braver, her story adds to the mountain of evidence that America has work to do, and her dignity under pressure models what it means to fight back with your head high. Don't let anybody tell you this is just about one white woman and one Black family. It's about all of us. The mothers who worry every time their sons walk into a store, the daughters who rehearse their answers before they even get questioned, the fathers who have to teach their kids how to de-escalate bias while holding on to their self-respect. And to every company, every manager, every bystander, the time for neutrality is over. You're either part of the solution or you're letting this happen on your watch. Black dollars matter, Black presence matters, and Black dignity is non-negotiable. Let's bring this all the way home, because what happened at that Penney isn't just about a viral video. It's a warning to every institution, every company, and every community that still thinks Black presence is a problem to be managed, not a gift to be honored. See, when a white woman can walk into a store and turn a shopping trip into a criminal investigation with nothing but a pointed finger and a stubborn attitude, that's not just Karen energy. That's the legacy of a country built on suspicion, surveillance, and the policing of Black bodies. And if you think this is just about about one retail moment you haven't been paying attention. What makes this story different is the refusal to be silent. For generations, Black folks have been told to move on, to take the high road, to avoid making a scene so as not to invite more trouble. But this is a new era. This is the era of receipts, of digital witnesses, of call it what it is in real time. When the Black woman in this story said, "I'm not my ancestors, but I'll show you," she wasn't erasing the power of her lineage. She was announcing that the days of letting accusations go unchecked are over. She's the culmination of every elder who survived, every parent who taught how to move, every friend who said, "Let me know when you get home safe." She's what happens when survival evolves into self-advocacy and resistance. Let's talk real solutions, because apologies and social media statements are only the beginning. If Penney and every other company truly wants to earn Black dollars and Black trust, it's time to get proactive. That means staff training that isn't just a one-time seminar, but an ongoing conversation, leadership that reflects the communities they serve, and policies that protect customers from false accusations, especially when those accusations are rooted in bias. It means standing up for customers who are profiled, not telling them to just move on, and making sure aggressors face consequences, not just quiet exits out the back door. But let's not wait on corporations to save us. Black people have always had to save ourselves, build our own networks of accountability, and keep each other safe. That means supporting Black-owned businesses that honor our dignity, celebrating our joy in public, teaching our kids the power of documentation, and refusing to let any moment of humiliation go unanswered. Every time we stand up, we chip away at the narrative that says we're powerless, and we build something stronger for the next generation. And here's a word for the bystanders, the shoppers, the employees, the folks who see injustice but stay silent. Neutrality is not an option. When you witness bias and say nothing, you become part of the machinery that keeps it running. Speak up, intervene, protect the people being targeted. If you can't be a shield, don't be a spectator. As for the trolls, the defenders of innocent mistakes, and the "why is everything about race" crowd, it's about race because race has always been weaponized against us. It's about race because the pattern never changes. And until Black people can shop, walk, work, and live without fear of false accusation, it will always be about race. To my people, don't ever let the system gaslight you out of your truth. Your feelings are real, your dignity is priceless, and your story deserves to be told. Whether you fight back in the moment, share your story online, or support others in their battle, know that every act of resistance adds up. We are not alone, we are not powerless, and we are not going backwards. So here's LaSherika's final charge. Keep your cameras ready, keep your receipts close, and keep your head high. If they want to police your presence, remind them you pay the same money, deserve the same respect, and bring value to every space you enter. If they try to shame you for standing up, know that silence only protects the guilty. Our ancestors didn't march, organize, and resist for us to shrink. They did it so we could walk into any store, any street, any country, and claim our full humanity unapologetically. Let this Penney episode be a lesson, not just for the company, but for every institution that thinks Black dignity is negotiable. It's not. The days of us swallowing disrespect just to keep the peace are over. We demand peace with respect, justice with action, and presence without apology. So whether you're the one being profiled or the one bearing witness, don't let the world convince you that Black resistance is the problem. It's always been the solution. Our joy, our unity, and our refusal to be silent are the blueprint. Stay vigilant, stay unified, and remember, when one of us stands up, we all move forward. This is LaSherika telling you to stay bold, stay ready, and never ever let them silence your story.